I'd now like to invite our next inductee, Jackie Law, and her presenter, Rick Brownell, to the stage. Ready? For those of you that don't know, me and Jackie were actually very good friends while we were undergrads here, so it's an honor for me to be able to present her to everybody as a Hall of Famer. Our next inductee is Jackie Law from the class of 2013. A four-year member of the Arcadia University women's soccer program, Law was named the third-team All-American in 2010, the first All-American in program history. Law was also first-team All-Region in 2010 and third-team All-Region in 2009 and 2011, a second-team ECAC All-Star in 2013, a first-team All-MAC Commonwealth selection in 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2013. Law also led the team to an ECAC championship in 2013, where she was named the tournament's most outstanding player. During her career, Law finished with 48 wins in goal, recording 363 saves with 33 shutouts. Law stands first in wins for her career, first in saves, first in shutouts, fourth in save percentage at .848, and fourth in goals against average at .84. Law reached the top 10 in single-season history for shutouts 3 times, with 11 in 2009, 10 in 2010, and 7 in 2013. She was top 10 for saves 3 times, with 112 in 2009 and 86 in 2010 and 2013. She reached the top 10 twice for save percentage, with .889 in 2009 and .851 in 2013. Finally, Law reached the top 10 twice for goals against average at 0.69 in 2013 and .71 in 2009. While in Glenside, Law was also a 3-year member of the women's basketball team here at Arcadia. Law graduated with her bachelor's in English in 2013 and earned her master's in human sciences from Hood College. Law is currently the head women's soccer coach at Union County College in New Jersey. Jackie is being presented today by Arcadia women's soccer head coach Rick Brownell, who I would now like to invite to the podium.
Jackie, 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 Jackie. This might be a roast. I've been fortunate enough to give a few speeches in the, for some inductees in the past, and I sort of consider myself usually a pretty serious guy, but today we might be a little different. Let's have some fun here. Just good morning. I'm honored to be presenting here, of course, for one of Arcadia women's soccer's all-time top goalkeepers, Jackie Law. As you've just heard, Jackie had an extremely distinguished career here, and when thinking of how best to describe Jackie's effect on our program, it was much more than simply her soccer prowess. Well, let me start with Jackie the person. It's no surprise to anyone who knows her, she has a huge personality, and her high energy is evident to all. I had another high-spirited, high-energy goalie who played here not long ago. I nicknamed her Tornado, and it stuck. I never gave Jackie a nickname, but if I did, it would probably be Hurricane. Jackie came into the program and immediately made a major impact during her first preseason, and not just on the field. You see, Jackie was a relentless prankster, a jokester, and it didn't matter who you were on the team. She was an equal opportunity teaser. Her energy and her voice were a nonstop cluster of verbiage, usually poked in someone's direction and many times me. As a side note, please let me mention, as I use the word like hazing, it was very, very far from any reality in our program, as everybody would know. But so far, in fact, during one of our team breaks, as a joke to her persistent teasing of everyone, one of my assistant coaches asked the entire team, "Hey, has anyone been hazed by Jackie?" And as far as referring to her prankster. Well, the whole team laughed, and then one by one, people started raising their hands. Sophomores, juniors, seniors. So, and then after everyone raised their hand, everybody started, then all of a sudden the assistant coach raised his hand. And then when that happened, I raised mine. That should tell you all you need to know about the impact Jackie made. Seriously, Jackie was always fun-loving. Laughter was always around her. As she often the case, the biggest teaser also has the biggest heart. And she completely adored and cared very deeply for her teammates and treated them as family. Jackie the athlete. So there's no question Jackie was a phenomenal athlete. She was tall, she had an awesome vertical leap, and the biggest wingspan I've ever seen in women's soccer. With her hands, she could jump and pluck the ball out of the sky when any team tried to drive a cross or a high shot on her. She also had an exceptional kinesthetic awareness of where the ball was and where it was going, and many times just walked to the spot, waiting for the ball to land into her hands. This combination is extremely rare, and she appeared to make giant saves with seemingly great ease. Jackie was an absolute coach's dream in the nets, and she frustrated the best teams in the country with her goalkeeping abilities. To this day, Jackie has influenced the greatest number of coaches that I run into to inquire, when is that kid graduating? As you can imagine, she completely altered our team competitiveness. We played with much greater confidence, knowing she was behind the team to stop the breakdowns and mistakes in front of her. In Jackie's first season, we went 15-2-3 with our only 2 losses to Messiah that year, who went 25-0-1 and won the national championship. We had a short postseason that year because of losing to Messiah in the conference finals. This bothered Jackie to no end, being very good, but having the season end so abruptly with an almost guaranteed loss each year to Messiah. Over the next few seasons, Jackie not only helped the team set record wins, she helped escalate our program to new heights, and by the time she graduated, with our fair share of setbacks, I'm sure Jackie remembers the Snow Bowl. Yes, well, that's for a different time. We finished her final season in 2013 with our first ever ECAC championship, having been underdogs and beating all 3 very strong opponents that year. The finals was won on penalty kicks, and Jackie stopped all but 1 penalty for us, sealing the championship. See, there were some good memories in there. Jackie, you helped ignite our program into postseason winning. We followed that year with 2 more ECACs back-to-back, and then 4 years of NCAA tournament competition with a huge conference win over Messiah in 2017. Jackie, you've left a great legacy. Your fun, upbeat personality and amazing presence in the goal will always be remembered by everyone who experienced it, and here your legacy lives on. Thank you for all you've done for the Arcadia women's soccer program.
Good morning. I promise I'm going to be as brief as possible. Adam already told me that if I go over my allotted time, they can take this honor right away from me, so I'm going to try to be really speedy. Before I start, I want to really thank everyone involved in putting this together, the Hall of Fame committee, especially Mike, Adam, Brian. I was not the easiest person to wrangle and get pictures from and stuff like that, so this is a really great event. You guys really know how to make a girl feel special, so I really appreciate it. This speech is going to mostly be just about gratitude. You all have heard a lot about me in the last few minutes, but the truth is there's not one thing that I have achieved in my life that I have achieved on my own. I am so grateful for my mom, who, even as a single mother, raising 3 kids, never missed one of my games my whole life. That didn't change when I came to Arcadia. It's about a 3-hour round trip from her home to campus, and there she was every game with her folding chair, following me from goal to goal as I moved in the halves. 6-hour round trip to Messiah to play basketball, to see us, get our butts kicked. She was there at every game. To emphasize my point, there was one game at Widener. We had finished warming up. We were about to take the field. I looked into the stands. I didn't see she was there. So I actually went to Coach and I said, "Coach, something's wrong. My mom's not here." And him, being very reasonable, said, "She's probably just like a little bit late." And I said, "Coach, you don't understand. My mom is not late. There's something wrong." Turns out there was just traffic and she was a little late. I am only standing here today because of her commitment to and her love for her kids. There's not been a day on this earth that I have felt alone or unwanted or unloved. and that is all because of her. So thank you. Sitting directly next to my mom at all of my games and here today is my stepfather, Jeff. Now, he'll tell you he's not the biggest soccer or basketball fan. He's more of an American football kind of guy. But he was always there at every game, and he was always my biggest advocate. Honestly, don't even bring up the 2009 Rookie of the Year situation, or he will start to rattle off stats and yell about how it should have been me. So thanks, Jeff. The other two most important men in my life are my brothers, Joe and Jared, who helped me grow up happy, safe, and tough. I'd also really like to take this opportunity while I'm on a stage at a podium to formally and publicly thank them for moving me into and out of numerous apartments in Glenside. They barely talk to me now. I love you guys. Thank you. I also want to thank my partner and the love of my life, Mary Kate. We met in kindergarten. She played hard to get for about 20 years, but finally convinced her to give me a shot. It's been the best 6 years of my life. She lifts me up. She lifts me up at all times. She challenges me to step outside my comfort zone, and she makes me laugh endlessly. She's even learned to love watching soccer and will yell at the refs with me. So it's really what true love is all about. I'm going to talk a little bit about my time at Arcadia, and I cannot talk about Arcadia without first talking about Coach Brownell, who I don't feel comfortable calling Rick or anything yet, so I feel like I'm not far enough removed for that. Coach was actually one of the biggest factors in me choosing to come to Arcadia. He was the only coach that I spoke to when I was recruiting that didn't talk all about wins and losses. He talked about culture. He talked about how much the girls enjoyed being around each other, how they were best friends, and how important that was to him. When I mentioned that I wanted to also play basketball, he didn't discourage me like many other college coaches did. He emphasized how important it was to him that his athletes live full and happy lives on campus, and if that for me meant playing two sports, he was all about it. Coach Brownell and all of the other great coaches that I've had, actually, let's give Coach Brownell a round of applause, please. Thank you. He really went through a lot with me for 4 years. Coach Brownell and all of the coaches that I've had the honor of working throughout my life with, Kevin Ewing, Crystal Gibson at Arcadia, Bruce Davis, Sylvia McOliver. These coaches are the reasons I'm standing here today, and the reason I'm now a college soccer coach. I want to impact kids in the same way that Coach Brownell has impacted me. As a coach now, I talk a lot about intrinsic motivation, finding the will to compete from within, but I have to be honest, I was not that kind of player. I really struggled to find the will and the desire within myself to get up early and work out and play through injuries or pain or struggle with the workload or the class load or time management. I just found it really difficult to pull that from within me. So what I did instead was dedicate myself to being the best teammate I could be. Every workout I did, every morning I woke up with sore shoulders and knees from hitting the ground. I found the motivation to keep going from my teammates. For me, it was never about personal accomplishments or personal praise. In fact, all that makes me a little uncomfortable, which I realize may not seem the case with the 5-minute speech about myself. But the most rewarding moments for me were team achievements, and more importantly, just team events, Wissahickon runs, pregame dinners, preseason team naps, just trying to survive 3-a-days. There's something about struggling through adversity as a group that makes that group family as opposed to friends. Still to this day, if any of my teammates called on me, I would be there simply for the fact that we shared something that many people do not get to share and experience. Working together, living together 24/7 for years, working towards one common goal, being just one piece of the whole. That was and will forever be my favorite part of athletics. And if I could give one piece of advice to the few student athletes that are in the room, don't take your time here for granted. Soak it up, enjoy every minute with your teammates, even the bad minutes when you're on the end line waiting to sprint, or you're in the weight room at 5 a.m. Trust me when I say, when it's all over, you're really going to miss it. I just want to thank, once again, everyone involved in this, the Hall of Fame committee, anybody that helped me get to this moment. It is the most humbling experience of my life so far, and a great honor. Arcadia will always be a part of me and always be a second home. Thank you.